Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Human beings, as we've been looking at the most holy, beautiful religion of Islam, and on so many occasions, I think many of you who hear my message to humanity will understand, also will know that indeed, maybe those men we are trying to teach Islam to, we are not guided. Because as I was sitting here trying to tell men and women what Islam is all about, one person said, they told us that in Islam, when you kill others, that's what is it? That's how they understand Islam. No, my people. If you are to wake up, you're a Muslim, you're a person who's a Muslim. If you are to wake up and you go on in your garden or in your shade where you have flowers, if you look at those flowers, do you need to slash them to say that you're a Muslim, or to prove that those flowers that have slashed you because I'm a Muslim? That is not Islam. Islam is the most holy, beautiful religion. That's why a flower, you put a seed in the flower, you put a seed in your whatever, and it goes and produces flowers, to confirm to you that this very holy, beautiful religion is not of that whatever that men have explained to you for years, that you have to kill so-and-so to kill so-and-so. No. If you do so, you are not a Muslim. If you kill, you went out of your head and said, I'm going to fight so-and-so. Because the reason, that's why I told you, in modern times, men have what we call sects within Islam. There's the Ahmadiyya sect, there's the Qadian sect, there is the Shia sect, and so many others. But these are very deadly things to the human brains. If you were to bring, now, let's say you are women, you have children, every one of you gave birth a few days ago, and they make you sit under a very, very, very nice shade. If it is me who is now, I'm explaining to what you are supposed to feel, that when you sit under a shade of a tree, the tree, every single tree that you look at on this planet, it bears witness that there is no deity worth of worship except Allah. When it says, Allahu Akbar, Ashhadu alla ilaha illallah, more than any human being will ever be able to do, even if they live for 1,000 years. Do you know why? Because that tree knows only one religion, and that religion is Islam. That's what it all knows. And in that, it provides a shade, and with the shade, sometimes it provides fruits. But when you men who are given a shade from a tree, which is a living creation, which says, Allahu Akbar, Ashhadu la ilaha illallah, and you turn around and say, you go and you kill so-and-so because you say Islam, that's what not Islam says. That is a wrong of interpretation of the beauty of Islam. A tree sits and provides the shade and fruits and many things, even medicine, in the name of Islam. The tree does that in the most holy, beautiful name of Islam, the religion of Islam. When it gives you that and then you eat and you go yourself and say, I'm going to go and spill another man's blood. Why? Why? Tell me why. Tell me why you should eat and whatever and what kind of, and sit, and then you walk up and say, I'm going to fight. And so, what religion is that? Then that's when I put a whatever and I say, look at the other side, whereby there is a cross. A cross whichever cross you ever come across, on which a man called Jesus was pinned and tortured and mutilated. In that interpretation whereby you look at a picture of Jesus, mutilated, psychologically, physically, and he's dripping with blood with a crown of thorns on his head, stripped naked, that is when they tell you that if you add in Islam what you call, you a Muslim, you can you kill so-and-so. Why? Tell me why. Tell me why you have to. Can't you see that there's been a kind of things that you've added? For years, men taught you what Islam is, but they did not know what Islam is. There were men who have fitna. In fact, if I tell you that in modern times, men commit acts of deadly fitna against their fellow human beings in the air, and they say we are Muslims. No. A Muslim, I'll give you an example. I told you, a tree in your compound which stands on a single stem. A stem is a trunk, a tree stands and then it throws the leaves on the canopy. I did tell you the human beings, that tree is the signature of Allah on this planet. It's a signature and evidence and proof of Allah on this planet, saying to you, human beings, that tree you see there, it says, first of all, every leaf on it, it says, Allahu Akbar, Ashhadu Allah ilaha illallah. And then it says, it as a tree, says, I as a tree, I do bear these fruits and leaves that you can see, whatever, because of the most holy, beautiful religion of Islam. The stem on which it stands represents a letter I. A letter I is when you say A, B, C, D, that's what it is. In the European character signatures of whatever symbols. But the tree says, I as a palm tree, I produce this very beautiful shade and whatever, and coconut juice and whatever, because of the most holy, beautiful religion of Islam. And he does that as a contribution to peace and harmony. Peace and the beauty of harmony. In the most holy, beautiful religion of Islam. Not to kind of that you can kill so and so. Why? Tell me why. If you walk up and maybe you have a 2 little baby, whatever girl in your house, and you walk up and say, I'm going to kill your son, so why? So you wanna, tell me why? Why would you so? Why would you do so? So my people, if you want to find peace in your heart, I'll tell you one thing before I go. Many of you have read about what you call the word hell. Hell is when the bodies of human beings cannot handle the heat. If you are people like people who smoke, you take a lighter, when a woman who cooks for your children, just put your finger on the gas fire and see how in that when you put your finger on the fire and it burns you. You know what it says? That fire that is kind of, but the one of hell is very deadly because Allah created it purposely for men and women who rejected the true beauty of the most holy, beautiful religion of Islam. Who went out of their head and said, we are at war with Islam, we are at war and so and so, we are killing so and so. If you are to tell your friend, whatever, that this is beautiful religion, that's why this tree is here. Why these whatever flowers are here? They provide very beautiful fragrances of perfumes. In a flower to provide fragrances of perfume, it says the religion of Islam is very beautiful. Fragrances of perfume that have no end. They're endless. Their interpretation is forever. When you turn around and say we are what? That's when you become terrorist to the environment and terrorist on bodies. When you say you are fighting, you want to, the way they taught you that this is Islam does not, in Islam, there's a whole email where Allah says, do not shed blood of others. Do not shed blood of others. If you understand that statement, do not say we are told that you go and kill so and so. It's haram. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.